With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820. Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And obviously, great minds think alike. We obviously decided we would dress alike.
Even if they're not going to give our boy Otter some time,
we'll see. We'll see. Well, before we jump into it, just a reminder: today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth's hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. Well, today there's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge, right? We're going to throw out some quick hitters, probably touch a little bit on Texas basketball because they are winners of 5 in a row, I believe, at this point. We're going to touch on the Olympics. We're going to talk about the downfall, maybe, of Bama football. And then we'll talk Texas baseball and college baseball in general. So let's get the doom and gloom out of the way, man. Yesterday, bad news. Civil rights activist Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away at the age of 84. Apparently, he died of what's called a supranuclear palsy. It's a degenerative brain disease. Basically, it attacks the brain, attacks your nervous system. I assume it's just like any other palsy that you would get. I know that he had started to go downhill pretty quickly. He fought with Dr. King for the advancement of civil rights for African-American people. Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away at 84. And then one that hit really close to home for myself and Bill, Mr. Robert Duvall, passed away at 95.
golly.
Man, I know my dad and you spoke about him, and then you said your grandfather, man, Lonesome Dove, my favorite Western.
Yeah, yeah.
Augustus McCrae. He also played in The Godfather. Go ahead.
Secondhand Lions. I don't know if you've seen Secondhand Lions. It's another phenomenal movie. The man
Phenomenal
was in.
movie.
Just Days of Thunder for you NASCAR fans out there. Days of Thunder. Rubbin's Racing.
Yeah, he was fantastic in Days of Thunder.
He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And Rubbin's son is racing.
Yep. And Gone in 60 Seconds. He was fantastic in that as well.
Great Santini. Tender Mercies. He won an Academy Award for Tender Mercies in '83 or '84.
He was in a movie. Actually, he was in To Kill a Mockingbird. He played Boo Radley.
No lines.
No lines.
That was his first movie.
It was his first movie, and that was in the
62.
40s, 50s. Yeah, 62.
No, it was 62. He said he actually had a line, but they cut it.
Yeah.
They cut his only line out of the show, so he just.
And he was in another movie. It was a weird one. It was God. I remember studying about it. I took a film class at Arizona State, and forget what it was. It was something with a bunch of numbers. He was in that one as well. I forget what the name of it was, but it was I think it was a Scorsese film, not a Scorsese, but one of those guys. But man, rest in peace, Mr. Robert Duvall. You will be missed.
Yeah, one more. Rooster Cogburn, and one more thing. There was, I think you just started talking about that, and my brain just went to mush right there, John. Just phenomenal actor, man. Just he's as an American treasure, and he will be missed.
Captain Augustus McCrae.
Yeah, absolutely.
By God, Woodrow, it ain't dying. I'm talking about it's living.
I'm on it. Because it's not a movie. Technically, it was a miniseries when it came out in '89. Yeah. But I'm on part 4 or part 3 right now of 4. So
the crazy part, I just watched it about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I looked at Nikki. Nikki doesn't care. She's either reading her, whatever, or watching something on her phone, and I was like, babe, I'm gonna cry when that man dies. And she just looked at me and said,
wow. Did you wish that upon him?
No. I've been saying it for years. I mean, good God, he looked old then, but now he was only 50 or 60 when that happened. But man, I
will say this.
He looked the same age from about 88 till now.
Yeah. Hey, I will say that. I will say this. He did. He uttered one of the greatest lines in the history of cinema, and when his role as Lieutenant Bill Kilgore in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah,
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yep.
How could we
not
like victory?
How could we not mention Apocalypse Now? Just a legend. Nobody had anything bad to say about Bob Duvall. Man. It's sad that we're talking more about Robert Duvall than we are Reverend Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson himself is a legend, but rest in peace.
The man did. Yeah, agreed.
Rest in peace to both of those great legendary men.
Not trying to take anything away from the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
No, sir.
He did a lot of great things.
So let's jump into some sports now. So Texas men's indoor national champions tennis.
What?
They beat Ohio State. So that's another national championship we can throw in there for the Directors Cup.
Suck it, Ohio State.
Yeah, beat Ohio State again in something other than football. So there we go. Let's see. Texas is canceling their 2032-2033 home and home series with Arizona State. Pretty sure this has everything to do with the 9-game conference schedule. Not that we're afraid of playing anyone, because we still have, I think, Notre Dame on the schedule, and I think it was a beneficial thing. I don't know if Texas suggested we do this, but it was mutually proposed by both schools, so they did it. Of course, Texas A&M saying we're cowards, whatever, go lose to Appalachian State at home or something.
Beat Texas before you run your mouth.
Yeah, there you go. How about that?
Beat Texas before you run your mouth.
At least Johnny Manziel won a Heisman while he was doing coke. Let's see. Texas hires a new defensive line coach, Quan Drake. He's going to be the assistant defensive line coach. I think he's going to be like a defensive tackle coach, interior D-line coach.
Okay.
He was with Western Kentucky for a month, and then he decided to come to Texas, I guess, greener pastures. Before that, he spent 3 seasons in the USFL and UFL with the Houston Roughnecks and Gamblers. Prior to that, he spent time with Colorado, Memphis, Tulane, Kansas, and Eastern Illinois. While he was at Kansas, that was under Coach Miles.
Well-traveled.
He's a journeyman. Want to say this is a Coach Blood hire. Muschamp wanted somebody else in there to help, which I would say that whatever he says goes, especially when it comes to defense. Sark is not going to.
Like Sark said, he wants a CEO of the defense.
And he doesn't
want to have to look over there and worry about the defense, and I believe he's got that man. He's got the right man for that job.
Definitely has the right man for that job. Let's see. Radek Faxa has an upper body injury. That's less than ideal. I know we all love the Olympics, and he went back to, play for his country. This is when playing in the Olympics sucks, because that hurts our team in the long run. Let's hope it's just minor. Let's hope, it just keeps him out of the Olympics. I haven't heard anything. They just say upper body injury, lower body injury. They never really tell you anything. I'm hoping it's just precautionary. They're going to keep him out. We'll see. That's not somebody we can afford to lose. He's vital to that penalty kill. So that's about all I have for the quick hitters. You want to jump into some Olympic talk?
I will say this. I will say that we can talk. We can get into the Olympics. I just will say this. We need our Finnish mafia and the stars. We need some of those boys to step up and play big coming up, because I would love to see them take down Canada and then get to play America.
Yeah,
America. Now,
Canada actually struggled today with, was it Sweden?
Well, they really did. We're going to get into that one in just a minute.
Yeah.
The best hockey team in the world is not the Canadian men's team. It's not the United States men's team. It is the United States women's hockey team. They are rolling. They are going to play for a gold medal tomorrow against Canada, team that they already roughed up one time.
They obliterated them.
They are going to. I have a feeling that they are going to. It is a huge gap between first and second place in the women's hockey game. They have been dominant, and they've been literally so far to this point, John. They have outscored their opponents in the Olympics 31-1. They've given up 1 goal. That's a hell of a point differential in hockey. That's a good point differential in a lot of other sports. That's phenomenal in hockey. That's just dominant. Yeah, the United States men, they led most of the way today. Sweden tied it late. They pushed hard and they tied it late. The Americans got the game winner in OT by one Quinn Hughes. But there was a slew of games to get into the final today. Canada was down early, and they ended up rallying late and ended up winning their match with Czechia. I always thought it was Chechnya, but maybe they've changed it, or maybe that's just the way it's spelled. But anyway, they struggled with them a bit today. Now, hopefully that's not a wake-up call for them, and it's like, okay, or maybe that was just a case of they're playing with their food too long.
Let's hope not.
For the Canadians, Sidney Crosby did leave the game. He is hurt. Sid's still a great player, but he's not one of their top guys anymore.
Nah, he's old, man.
And I'll say this: as much as I love you, the United States, if Canada plays up to what they're capable of, we won't beat them.
No,
If we
no.
bring our best game and they bring their best game, we don't have a chance.
No, but Eagles are cooler than geese. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's not even a question. That's not even a question. You don't see a bald eagle dive bombing a football field like ducks and geese do, because
right.
Boise State University has that blue football turf, and they routinely have to go up there and scrape up dead birds off of that because I'm not kidding. They think it's water.
I know.
They think it's water. They have to go out there with one of those big wheat shovels and scoop up.
Just be a man and use your hands, right? Like, what are we doing here?
But
be a man.
But no, we're going to have some things break our way. I will say this: I do believe that Canada is going to have a tougher test in the semifinal. We're playing what, Latvia or something like that. I forget in the next round. I had this top of my mind and I don't remember now, but the boys from Finland, including some of our favorite Dallas Stars, are going to be going up against Canada. And so, they could do us a huge favor. And we're
going to start calling them the finish line.
The Finnish Mafia, baby. We need them to play well.
Yeah. I mean, there's no arguing that, Canada is bar none, the elite of elite when it comes to hockey. There's no doubt about it. No one pretends, but there's a rivalry between the United States and Canada, as everyone's aware. The United States beats their ass at everything except for hockey. So when we beat them last year,
curling, we don't kick their ass in curling, but
yeah. Well, I mean, 90% of their continent or 90% of their country is ice. So I mean,
true. This is true.
Like I would not expect Mexico to be great at curling, right? So, okay, I'm being a tad bit of an asshole, but America. That's all I got to say. Right? I'm feeling bloody tonight, man. So who cares? Like, if we're gonna, obviously, I'm rooting for the United States. I know that if Canada is on top of their game, we should not win that game. We won't win that game if Canada's on top of their game. They're just more talented. But that's not going to keep me from saying USA, red, white, and blue all the way.
Oh, of course not. No way in it. No. No, we've had some other really, really big highlights so far in the games. Right now, the medal count. Last I checked, the medal count. We're only third, but we're only a couple behind. We're only a couple behind Italy for second place. Norway is lapping the field here. Not lapping the field, but they're leading away with 33. Italy has 26, and the U.S. has 24 medals.
Wow.
Some highlights for the U.S. Olympic team. Obviously, we had the mixed doubles curling. We won silver. That was, I know you're excited.
Woo!
Speed skating, who is, which is kind of exciting. Those folks can. That is impressive. Some of those
they're
people
moving fast.
Some of those people are built like linebackers, and I'm talking about the women too.
Yeah. Is that what Jake Paul's girlfriend does?
Yeah, Jake Paul's girlfriend is.
She is very well put together, might I say.
Not trying to be sexist or anything, but she's a very well built woman.
Yeah, she is
very attractive, and congratulations to you, sir. But yeah, our Olympic speed skater, we've got a young man named Jordan Stoles. He won the 1,000-meter race and he won the 500-meter race, setting new Olympic records in both of those.
Yeah,
he is the best United States speed skater, at least male wise. We did have Bonnie Blair, who was a beast for several years.
Yeah.
But he is the best U.S. men's speed skater since Eric Heiden, who won 5 gold medals back in that kind of gets overlooked. I mean, obviously it was one of the greatest sports upsets in history when the United States beat the Russians, beat the Soviet Union, in Lake Placid in 1980. But that same Olympics, Eric Heiden won 5 gold medals in speed skating. He was in 5 events and he won 5 gold medals.
Wow.
And so
That's amazing.
But Jordan Stolz is the best U.S. men's speed skater since one Eric Heiden.
That's amazing.
That is today, and we also had today we had Michaela Schifrin. She won gold in the slalom, which puts her at the top of the. She is the all-time winningest alpine skier in U.S. Olympic history for the United States. And you think there's been some really great skiers. Lindsey Vonn was one of them, and her career is most likely over now. She was 41, which is by no means old, but for athletics, you start
for Olympic
41.
competition. It's
yeah. And she had that gruesome injury. So that I hate to say it, and I hope I'm wrong, but most likely we've seen the last of Lindsey Vonn. But Michaela Schifrin, with that goal today, she puts her on another level, man. She's outstanding. I didn't realize, honestly, I'll be honest with you, and I knew she was good, but I mean, she is an all-time great in the sport, and definitely now with that goal today puts her at the top of the heap as far as the American skiers go.
Yeah.
We also, I know rare, obscure Olympic sports. This is kind of the season we're in, John. I guess we're lucky we got the Olympics going right now, because otherwise our sports brains would go into a deep, deep abyss. But we actually won a medal today in something that is usually not in our wheelhouse, but the men's cross country team sprint. We got a silver medal in that today.
Really?
Yeah. Norway's obviously they're killing it right now, man. I guess, of course, most of their country is probably snow and ice too.
Imagine that.
But they won a gold medal there, and they've got one of their big guys. He's like one of the all-time winningest Olympians. He's got like, what did it say? He's like, he joins Michael Phelps as the only one to win multiple gold medals in multiple Olympics.
Okay.
He's won. I mean, he's got like 10. I think he's got like 10 gold medals now over like 3 Olympics.
Okay.
These guys, that's pretty damn impressive.
I just want to say, if we're going to do the Olympics and we want to just dominate, sports that are generally just played in our country and we're great at it, why don't we just do baseball and football, and let's see who wins that sport every year in the Olympics?
And we're trying to grow football.
Yeah, flag, right? Is that what they're saying? Flag football?
Well, yeah. I need baseball. I need baseball back in the Olympics.
That would be fantastic. That would be pretty amazing.
Because I remember growing up, and you had when I was a kid.
I mean, you do the Little League World Series. That's essentially the same thing. I mean, if you think about it,
we had guys growing up. I remember I had some cards. I've always been a big card collector. Passing some of those on to probably passing some of those on now. What I do have left of them, probably passing some of those on to a grandson.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to have some Team USA baseball cards. The best one that I had was McGuire.
That's awesome.
When he was coming out of USC, Mark McGuire was young.
I mean, when he was skinny.
I'm not going to say skinny, but
he was skinny.
He was already.
I'm sorry, Barry Bonds was skinny.
And you know what? we were talking about off the cuff topics earlier. That's something that bothers me to no end. John, I watched this man from when he started in Major League Baseball. And granted, he had a pedigree. Willie Mays was his godfather. His dad, Bobby Bonds, was a good, really, really good player. Barry Bonds would have been an all-time great if he had never done any of the performance enhancing stuff.
Yep.
He was going to be at least 500 home runs and 500 stolen bases guy. John, there ain't a whole hell of a lot of those.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think the only one might be freaking his godfather. I don't know how many guys. I'd have to look back in this and but that guy was going to be a Hall of Famer regardless. And that's the part that hurts my heart. That dude was phenomenal.
He was.
And he still felt like he needed to cheat.
I know. It's sad. that great players feel the need to do that. I mean, Alex Rodriguez was great. Pete Rose, that's a bit of a different story, but there are some purists that go, well, technically he cheated. He was gambling on his team. Yeah, he was betting on him to win, though. I mean,
most of your great athletes, what separates good from great is the level in which they are willing to go to, the level of sacrifice that they are willing to do. The heart, usually your team is going to be successful when your hardest worker, when your best player is your hardest worker.
Mm-hmm.
And what usually makes guys separates good from great is how hard they're going to work. Two perfect examples: Jerry Rice, Walter Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the all-time greats. Walter Payton, until Emmitt Smith broke his record years ago, Walter Payton was the all-time leading rusher in NFL history. And Jerry Rice, people can argue with me, and so they could say you can throw in Randy Moss, you can say Calvin Johnson, you can just whatever. Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver in history. He may be the best football player in history. The man was gifted, but he worked his ass off to be better. He practiced extra. He worked out extra. He studied film extra. He wanted to be the best. He didn't take any performance enhancing drugs. He just busted his ass to get better. And that's all Walter Payton did. Walter Payton's workouts are legendary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what just it kills me is trying to take shortcuts to be great.
It's insane to me that world-class baseball players, legendary baseball players, hitters, fail 70% of the time.
Yeah.
If that tells you what we're talking about. Like these guys that hit 300, that's a world-class legendary baseball player in the majors.
Well, you don't have your 300 hitters anymore. You got guys hitting 280, 290, winning a batting title, man. When I was a kid, that you weren't even in the top 20.
Yep.
Now it's all about launch angle and jacking it out of the yard.
I read somewhere it was something about, I think it was Tony Gwynn. Was it Tony Gwynn? In one season he only struck out like 19 times.
Yeah.
In one season. No. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. He was that dude could have hit a bunch of home runs. And I know you and Charles, neither one of you are big fans of Ichiro.
Oh man, I loved Ichiro.
But Charles didn't like him. I think it's because Charles didn't like some things about the man. But the man could hit home runs if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great hitter. They talked about in BP, he would put on a show. But he knew that wasn't what his team needed. He was a leadoff hitter. He was a speed guy. He was a get on base guy.
Yeah.
But that was a guy that hard work.
Yeah.
Extra BP, extra. Yeah. What are you willing to put into it? Not what can I take to put into my body that's gonna give me an edge.
He was the ultimate team player, man. Ichiro, like so gracious, so humble, like never once, like I think I heard someone say one time, if he wanted to pitch, he probably could have pitched as well. Like he probably could have been Shohei before Shohei was Shohei. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you see these guys like Darvish. Darvish was a fantastic player coming over from Japan. Mm-hmm. Obviously Shohei Ohtani, who is probably not maybe, he's probably the best player in the league right now.
Yeah. Definitely.
Best overall baseball player because he does both sides and he does them both very well. But if you ever seen videos of them seeing Ichiro, I mean, they are deferential. He is a god in that country.
He is. He was the first one to make a name for the Japanese baseball
to really blow up. I mean, you had other guys like Hideki Matsui,
sure, yeah,
and other guys, but
he was the first one to be like
a
superstar. Like, he was fantastic, and it was not right watching him in a Yankees uniform. He should have stayed with Seattle.
I did not like that.
Maybe that's why Charles doesn't like him.
No, I think Charles wasn't a fan even before that. But anyway, we'll get into a little bit more
when we get back. We'll jump in some Texas baseball, some college baseball.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
All right. Welcome back. All right. Before we jump back into it, today's show is brought to you by Ensemble Co-working, Fort Worth Hub for private offices, co-working, meeting space, and virtual mail. Find your perfect workspace at ensemblecoworking.com. So before we jump into the downfall of Alabama football, let's take a second to appreciate Coach Sean Miller and the Texas basketball team. We've got some players, right? Dalen Swain, he's fantastic, and Volokaitis, he's awesome. Forgive my French. He's making chicken salad out of chicken shit right now.
Vakitis, I got to tell you, good player, but I can't. Every time I hear the name, I think of semi-pro.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Burkitis.
Yeah, Burkitis. Yes, thank you.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to throw that in.
Absolutely. They're winners of 5 straight. I think they played Georgia this weekend. I think it's on Saturday.
Can we finally beat Georgia in something? That'd be real nice. We can't do it in football.
We already beat them this year. We already beat them in basketball.
See?
So
we need to do it again.
Yep, and baseball beat them last season. So, anyways, I know we got to play Kentucky, and I think we have to play Arkansas in basketball. So those are probably going to be 2 losses, but they're probably going to make the tournament. Let's see what happens. Defensively, we're not great. Offensively, they're pretty efficient. We still don't have great shooters, in my opinion. But
we do not.
We are trending the right direction. Sean Miller can coach his ass off. That's one thing I can say. And there was I saw one of the mods for one of the Texas pages talking about, it's probably going to be a busy off season because there are a lot of agents that are going to reach out to Texas because people want to play for Sean Miller. So,
hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
I know, completely off topic. Did we hit our sponsor?
Did
I miss it?
Yeah, you missed it.
God.
Yeah,
my brain is mush right now, John. I'm sorry, I don't know what you.
It's all right. No worries. So thumbs up to Texas, and of course, Coach Vic Schaefer. He's always doing his thing with the ladies. So
yeah.
So let's jump into some downfall of Alabama football.
Oh, I'm all for that.
So they deserve it. Let's just leave it at that. Coach Saban was probably the greatest of all time. They've got Caleb DeBoer. I think he's soft. That West Coast shit doesn't work in the SEC. That's pretty clear. He just went on national television, got his ass whipped after he beat Oklahoma.
Still good enough to beat OU. Yeah, that's all
yeah.
I'm going to say. Still good enough to beat the Sooners.
Yeah, but they're soft as pig shit too. So it is what it is. Listen, I think defensively they're going to be okay because they're Alabama. Yep. They're going to get studs on the defensive line this season, though. They're going to be revamped. They're not going to be as dominant as they are along the defensive line. They're graduated a lot of kids. The proof is in the pudding. Their defense won't be as eye-popping. Well, the defensive line will not be as eye-popping, but it's kind of going to be the same at linebacker. They brought in some new blood. Defensive backs, kind of the same thing. I think they're going to be a little deeper on defensive back, but defensively is not the concern with Alabama. I think they'll get that squared away. The concern I have with Alabama, I think it's being understated how big of a loss Ty Simpson declaring for the draft was.
Yeah, they don't have the guy. I mean, they don't have a guy in waiting there. They really don't.
They brought in the kid. They brought in the kid. I think it's the kid from Duncanville, right? The quarterback. What's his name? Anyways, they brought that kid in. I think he's a second-year player. He was a redshirt freshman the season before. I think he's going to be a true sophomore this year.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do, it looks like they're trying to do a philosophical shift, right? And the reason I'm saying that, they made 3 hires, okay? They fired their offensive line coach because they just did not have a good season. They hired Adrian Clem. He's offensive line coach. He coached at New England for Belichick his last season in 2023, and he was also a coach at Pitt.
He played. I think he played. I think I remember his name.
He was a player. He played. Yeah. He played for Hawaii from like 98 to 2000. And then
he pros for a while. Yeah.
He played in the NFL for 4 or 5 years, and then he was out of it. He's a journeyman coach. Anywhere from assistant to, offensive line coach to defensive assistant, he was in there. Yeah. They also hired tight end coach Richard Owens. He was the offensive line coach for Louisville, which Louisville's always kind of like this. He'd been at Louisville for 3 years, but I think he's a pretty good coach. Their biggest hire that they made, though, they hired wide receiver coach Derek Nix. He was the Auburn offensive coordinator and running back coach from 24 to 25. Now, before that, he was the Ole Miss wide receiver coach from 2020 to 2023. I think it's their best hire because Auburn liked to run the football. He preaches physicality. They've got some bigger receivers there. They're really going to try and run that ball down people's throat. He's the guy to do it. He's going to coach the receivers up the right way. I think that's going to be their biggest thing. I don't know if Adrian Clem is the right guy. I don't think they're going to see immediate benefits from bringing in a guy like that because he's not a proven, A-plus offensive line coach, right? So don't be surprised if you see an 8-win Alabama team this year, 7-win Alabama team.
That would be shocking. If there's an 8-win Alabama team, then the Kalen DeBoer that you were just talking about, their coach, he won't be there. If they go 8-4, and go to the Cheez-It Bowl,
man,
I don't think he's going to be there because the people will run him. The people will riot.
I don't know what the short answer is. Who do you after the big coaching changes this season? I don't know what the short answer is. Yeah. I don't know who you bring in to that was going to be a hard job regardless of who you brought in. You're the freaking next guy after Saban, dude. Like
they always tell you don't want to be the guy that replaces the guy. You want to be the next guy after that.
Yeah. Right. So the next guy is probably going to be Lane Kiffin because he doesn't stay anywhere for very long. Sorry, my dogs are idiots. So, all right, let's jump into some Texas baseball and some college baseball because we got a lot to talk about. So, Friday night, man, Texas started the weekend off with a 12-2 run rule of their opponent, UC Davis. 4 players notch multi RBI performances. Aiden Robbins and freshman Anthony Pack Jr., who had himself a hell of a game.
That kid's impressing me, man.
He is
I like
legit.
what I'm seeing there. True freshman too, right?
True freshman from California.
Yep.
Robbins hit a 450-foot blast. It was a 2-run blast in the third to put Texas up 3-2.
That's a hope.
Early in the game, Ruger Riojas had some control issues, but he settled down later in the second. They gave up 2 runs early. Then later in the third inning, Robbins registered an RBI double to right center, and Pack Jr. was an impressive 3 for 3, compiling the most hits by a Texas freshman in 13 years. So that's pretty impressive for a blue blood program.
We got something right there, man. Yeah,
we got something. Riojas, after his struggles, he finished strong, retiring 14 of 15 of the final batters he faced. He yielded 1 run and 3 hits in 5 innings on 78 pitches. 52 of them were strikes. So Wiener effect. Love me some Wiener. Max Wiener is the pitching coach.
Hold on, God! I wish I could have that on a drop right there. I would so play that.
Man,
over.
I don't care. I don't care.
Evan
I don't
John
even
said
care.
he loves Wiener.
I love maximum Wiener. I love it.
God, I hope Charles is listening. I hope Charles
Max Grubbs finished it, and it was a great game. 12-2. Started the season with a bang. Saturday night, for the second straight game, Ethan Mendoza hit a home run. So he hit the ground running this season. His 2-run blast sparked a 6 unanswered runs, giving us the 6-4 win. Luke Harrison tossed 5 1/3 inning, 6 Ks. But the real impressive one was Dylan Volantis on Sunday. So Dylan Volantis was an All-American last season. He was a freshman. He got the closing role early and held on to it. I think he had a 1.8 ERA all season. He pitched a career best 7 innings on Sunday and gave up 1 unearned run on 1 hit, tying a career best 8 Ks in just his second career start. He took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, retiring 14 of 16, throwing 56 strikes on 78 pitches. So what we're seeing here is consistency, right?
Yeah, nice.
The Horns sent 11 to the plate in the 3rd inning. Ethan Mendoza finished the weekend 6 of 12 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, with a 1.563 OPS across the weekend. The pitching staff only allowed 5 runs in 25 innings, posting a 1.80 ERA, which is, for those of you who don't know baseball, that's elite. That is elite.
Give you my best Robert De Niro face.
Jinxie Cat. It's good. So last night, if you watched early, you were frustrated. Now, for those of you who don't know how the college game goes on the weekends, that's when your main starting pitching guys, that's when they play. So
your Friday night starter is your top guy.
Yeah.
So,
in theory, right? It's either your Friday, it's either Friday or Sunday. However your coach looks at it, it's either going to be your Friday night guy or your Sunday guy, right?
Yeah.
I think our Sunday guy is our best guy.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
But they gave the nod to Ruger. Ruger deserves it. He was a stud last year. He had his bumps, but to each their own. So the way the college game goes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are your top 3 starting pitchers, right? Your midweek games is when you play your younger guys, right? That's when they get their development. Now, your hitters are still going to be your starting hitters, right? But you're going to get the younger guys that are fringe hitters. They're going to get in there and play too in these games that are blowouts, right? So
yes, sir.
That's why we were frustrated last night. If you were watching, they were down early to Lamar, right? So Lamar is a middle of the road, average, middling team. They're a decent baseball program around Houston. They're not going to go to the big dance or anything like that, but they compete in their conference every year, right?
Yep.
They should never compete with Texas, right? Let's just throw that out there. So Texas was down in the middle of the fifth. They were down, I think it was 2-1, something like that. We finally scored 6 in the bottom half of the fifth to take the lead 8-4. Then the Horn sent 12 to the plate with 3 extra base hits, and Carson Tenney hit his first 2 home runs as a Horn. So Carson Tenney had 9 walks over the weekend. So for those of you who don't know, it's kind of uncharacteristic for most catchers to have an eye like that at the plate. Carson Tenney was walked quite a bit this weekend.
Yeah.
Because he's got massive power. They don't want to throw anything on over the plate to this kid.
That's a guy that you and I were both, but they got him on transfer. Didn't he come from Notre Dame?
Yes, sir.
You and I are both. I know we're both big fans of that pickup of him. Texas getting him.
His nickname is Tommy Tanks because that's what he does.
Just hits tanks.
He launched one left center and then he hit another one later in the game. And man, he got on base 4 times and he scored 3 times. Freshman righty Sam Cozart, he got in the game. He pitched 4 innings. He gave up 1 run in 4 innings and had 4 Ks. Now, guys, this kid is a freshman, and he's got a fuller beard than Bill and I combined, right? It is ridiculous. Watching this kid play, we got another one. We got another Dylan Valentis-esque type pitcher. He's young.
Yeah.
You know, he struggled a little bit, but good stuff coming from this kid.
Good.
The kid that started was Jason Flores. He had great velocity. He kind of struggled, but man, he hit 97 on the gun. What more can you ask for? It's early in the season. We'll see what happens next midweek game. They'll probably throw Jason out there again, give him another opportunity. But Sam Cozart's nipping on his heels. Don't be surprised if you see Sam Cozart playing pitching out of the bullpen. Meaningful pitches during the weekend at some point.
Absolutely.
So looking forward to this weekend, Texas is playing Michigan State. Michigan State is not known as a baseball power, but they did take 2 or 3 from number 8 Louisville last weekend. So this is going to be a pretty good matchup, it seems like. Whether or not you agree, they're going to be better than both of the teams we played this past week.
True.
Whether or not Louisville's lives up to that number 8 ranking or not, they're going to be better than what we played the past 2 games. I think we're going to be ready for them. We'll see what happens. But let's talk about the rest of the NCAA college baseball. All right. The craziest thing that I saw this weekend, right? Baylor's Tice Armstrong hit 3 grand slams in 1 game.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Isn't he a freshman?
No, I think he's a junior, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
3 grand slams. How many RBIs is that?
That would be 12, sir.
12 RBIs in 1 game. You
now,
can't do that on video
I mean,
games.
he could have had other at-bats too.
You can't do that on video games, dude.
No.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
12 RBIs, man.
Fernando Tatis Sr., not Junior, he did hit 2. He did hit 2 in 1 inning. He hit 2 in 1 inning. That's even more impressive.
That's
Back when
crazy.
he was playing for the Cardinals, this was after he left the Rangers. But
of course,
But anyway, I thought that 2 in 1 inning, 3 in a game though. That's nuts, dude.
That's nuts. Number 1 UCLA loses to UC San Diego. I'm pretty sure that was their opening game. They lost to UC San Diego. Now it was a close game. You're the number 1 team in the country. You should not be losing to UC San Diego. It's not like you're playing a ranked team. That's inexcusable.
All I'm going to say is I hope UC San Diego kept it classy.
I
had to get that in there, man.
I love it.
You know me and my movie references, man. I can't help it. It happens.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Let's hope they did.
Damn it! Who put the question mark in the teleprompter? All right. Number 9 Auburn narrowly escapes the weekend sweep against Youngstown. I wrote that wrong. They swept Youngstown State.
Yeah.
They narrowly escaped with the sweep.
Yeah.
They beat them twice 2-1. Now, I don't know if Youngstown State's known as a power. I know Ohio State's not very good.
They are not.
Okay.
They're not.
Number 9 Auburn struggled with them mightily.
I'm a little shocked. I didn't realize Auburn was ranked that high this year. I haven't really checked on them much this year.
Well, they just got shut out last night, 8-0.
Well, we seem to have lost John. Wow. Okay. I am not up on Texas baseball, University of Texas baseball, or NCAA baseball like John is. I do know that the Rangers have reported to spring training, and so they have their full team out there by now. And it's already been announced that Nathan Eovaldi, who former World Series hero Nathan Eovaldi, who is I believe he is the unquestioned leader of that team. It's already been announced that he will start the opener of spring training for the Rangers. It's shaping up to be a very good rotation, but in my mind, that's not really the question. You are going to have, it could be a question depending on his health and Jacob deGrom's health. Both of them are older. They're up in age. Hopefully we don't have to ride them too hard this year. We'll be able to give them some time off. Give them a little break every now and then, skip a start possibly here and there. Hopefully we can keep those guys healthy. We acquired a really good, I believe really good number 3 guy in Mackenzie Gore. Jack Leiter, I believe, is ascending. He is on the way up. He has a lot of talent. Kid was a very high draft pick. And he struggled a little bit the first year, but he pitched a lot better last year and better down the stretch. So there is a lot of hope there for Jack Leiter. Mackenzie Gore coming from Washington, who was easily the worst team in the league. If you look at his stuff and his numbers, his stuff is outstanding. His numbers possibly not, but I think part of that has to do with the team that he was on. They were just not a good baseball team. So, I believe that coming to Arlington, I believe that he's gonna really show what he's made of this year. But Leiter looks good, and then you're gonna have that 5th spot. Texas did bring back former World Series hero Jordan Montgomery on a 1-year, basically a 1-year prove it deal. He won't be ready to start the season because he's coming off Tommy John. After the World Series in 23, he left and got a good sized contract from Arizona, and then he went out there and proceeded to really, really pitch horribly. I'm happy to see him back. It's a win-win for Texas. There's really no downside to this, because if he doesn't work out, then you haven't really lost anything. But if he comes back and he's healthy and strong, then I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a really good addition to this team. Probably mid-season, we get Cody Bradford back. I think to start the season, I think your 5th starter is going to be. It's going to be between Kumar Rocker and Stephen Latz, who he pitched well last year. Rocker, I ultimately think Rocker, I would love to see him be a starter. He's a big guy. He's got power stuff. But I would like to see this team have enough starting depth, especially if Montgomery comes back healthy and he's good. If Bradford comes back healthy and he's good, I'd like to see them be able to put both Latz and Rocker in the bullpen as long men. And I could see, I'm not saying this is ever going to happen, and you definitely don't want to go down this road that early in a person's career, but I could see down the road, I could see Kumar Rocker being a closer, because he's a big guy. He's intimidating. He's got that power stuff. Comes in late in the game. That could be kind of scary. So, the big question for me, the Rangers, I think their offense is going to be better. I think their offense is going to be better, but they replaced Marcus Simeon with Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo is most likely going to be your leadoff hitter. You need a healthy season from Evan Carter. You need a rebound season from Jake Berger. You need to get something. You gave Jock Peterson a 2-year deal, and he bombed last year. So hopefully he comes back and he can prove you wrong. From everything I've seen, Jock Peterson has been working his butt off in the offseason. He's dropped a lot of weight. He looks ready to go. I get Jock's great in the clubhouse, but when you're not doing well, all the goofy stuff that he does, and it was kind of like the same with Derek Holland. He was a great player. When you're not doing well, the goofy stuff doesn't play. It doesn't play well. Fans see that, right or wrong. Fans see that and they think, okay, this guy doesn't give a damn. But but it looks like he's ready to go this year. The offense, I think, is going to be better. We need Evan Carter healthy, like I said. But to me, our offense has to be better. But the real weak spot, and I really haven't seen them do a whole lot to address that this offseason, is their bullpen. I mean, I think you might be asking for trouble. I would love to be wrong here, but I think their plan is to probably have Alexis Diaz close. He's capable, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know that you can trust him. Robert Garcia's already said that he wants to close games, and he's got great stuff, but I think he is best in a setup role because he was up and down last year. And when you tried to have him close games for you, it didn't go well. It was not something that you want to have consistently because you never knew what you were going to get from him. I hated a couple of years ago. I hated before last year when they let Kirby Yates walk for, he went to the Dodgers and of course ended up winning a World Series. So congrats to him, but he didn't cost that much. I would have loved to have seen him come back here on it would have been a decent deal. Wouldn't have been cheap, but it would not have broke the bank either. But you have to get your bullpen sorted out. So we'll see with the Rangers on that one. I think we're all fighting an uphill battle against the Dodgers because they won the offseason again, got another massive free agent that everybody wanted in Kyle Tucker. I don't know. They must just be printing money in LA because they somehow. Oh my gosh! Hey. There's John's handsome face. John, the people had to listen to me talk this whole time.
It let me hear you, but it kicked me and then just made me listen backstage. So I was like, oh my god!
All right, torture.
Okay, so Auburn, man, Auburn got shut out by Cincy last night. They play Globe Life. Damn, we're about to run out of time. So they play at Globe Life. They play Kansas State. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, they play Kansas State, Florida State, and Louisville this weekend. UAB upset number 13, Florida 9-7. Houston upset number 21, Wake Forest 8-2. Michigan upsets number 12, Oregon State 5-3. Oklahoma look legit. Take that for what you want. But TCU lost to UT Arlington last night. So Georgia Tech looks legit.
Shout out to some of my favorite humans watching down in New Braunfels. I love you guys.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life.